Today's episode is brought to you by Speculative Fiction Collectibles, also known as Spec Fiction Collectibles. You can find them on Facebook or check out their website and see all their pre-orders and everything they have in stock. I'll include a link in the description below. Their customer service is amazing, and I've really enjoyed using this company for ordering my statues. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Bogle here to review my first ever verse video. I am doing two statues from the same universe in one video. We are going to be looking at this third scale Ryu versus the third scale Shin Akuma. These pieces are a little older, but I'm really stoked to have these in my collection. Street Fighter has always been on my radar when I was younger. And we all know I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, so I got the Mortal Kombat PCS line, or at least the ones that I really needed, and now I'm going for this Street Fighter line. So as you can see, the box art is pretty superb, pretty fierce, bright colors, everything looks great, and definitely what we can expect from PCS. So getting a good look at these guys. Now we're going to go ahead and start with Ryu. This is the base, and the base really isn't that heavy, which is a huge relief to me because these heavy statues are getting really out of control. The body is really heavy. It's a really solid resin. It's mixed media throughout the body, which with this scale I think works really, really well. He fits in really secure with absolutely no wobble, so that's pretty on point. I do like the bamboo touch in the back. It gives it a spice of color, and yeah, it just looks really great. I like the little tuft of grass, and the portrait is killer. Mixed media bandana going on there. Got to drape it over the shoulder to pull the red over. So yeah, this thing is pretty sick. Getting into Akuma now. Again, here's the base. Now this base is probably twice as heavy as the other one. Really solid. And again, the figure is just really heavy. You can see the weight as I pick it up. Just a couple of pieces for these guys, but lots of mixed media. This is probably some of the best mixed media in statues I've seen. And there's the little light up for the eyes. It's inside the head, so you just kind of pull off the magnetic ponytail and click the switch. And his necklace is real wooden beads with like a real mixed media rope twine. I really like that a lot. So now we are going to be looking at both of these guys. Now, these statues are relatively simple, but they just have such a hardcore impact. So I figured we could get away with reviewing them both at the same time. Plus, in the nature of the game, them being a verse mode fighter game, I thought it would be cool to get both these guys to face off head to head in a review. I wouldn't necessarily say one was better than the other, so that's pretty cool. Like, one doesn't really outshine the other, so together they look phenomenal. I was really just impressed with everything from the texture of the bases to the paint. The mixed media, again, is just out of control, especially on Ryu's gloves. They're like a real red leather that you can squeeze. I just thought it was probably the best sculpt I've ever seen in my life, and then I touched it. I was like, oh, it's actually mixed media. But Akuma's gloves are sculpted, so they are resin. You could technically take Akuma's top shirt off and see his tattoo on his back. So let's check out these bamboo pieces. I absolutely love the paint. They really nailed it, and the texture on the bamboo all the way around is absolutely incredible. Just so much little details that you don't necessarily see, but they're there. So I really love that they went above and beyond with that. Here's the rock base and the little tuft of grass. I think the grass is a really good touch, brings in a little pop of color into the base. It just plugs right in. It's really nice and solid too. You don't really have to worry about it breaking or it being hyper fragile. This is the texture of the base. I think they did a really good job. It probably could have been a little grittier, but in person it looks really nice and doesn't take away from the piece at all. Here are these hyper stylized feet that we've come to know from Street Fighter, but I'm really glad they included this. Gave them the really wide foot to match the game. Here's a close-up of the mixed media. Texture crazy. It's absolutely perfect. The scale of the threading, the embroidery on the belt, everything is amazing and really complements the figure. He wears the suit doesn't wear him. So here's a close-up of the paint of the skin texture. As PCS does, they just crushed it. I love the subtle freckling happening on the skin there. And here's the mixed media bandana. Again, just perfect. Fits the piece really well. Here's this beautiful bright red real leather gloves. This is mixed media as well, except the glove on the hand itself. That's sculpted, but yeah, you can see my finger pushing into the softness of the pad. Pretty awesome and really, really realistic. It just brings the piece up to another level. So very impressed with the gloves. Maybe my favorite part of the whole piece. Just pops with color. And the anatomy on this thing is wild. The veins underneath the skin, that subtle blue hue under there is excellent, and just incredible anatomy. His chest, all the muscles, everything, absolutely incredible. Just can't say enough about this thing. Let's check out this portrait. I just think it's truly the Ryu that we came to know growing up playing the games. I like the eyebrows coming over the headband there, and how they sculpted a groove into the hair so the headband sits in the hair and not on top of it. Really believable. Again, just amazing skin texture. This piece really held up for being an older piece. Here's one more angle, just because Ryu is so badass and deserves all the angles. Again, the eyebrows coming over the headband, just a really nice touch. Seam line isn't too bad. You see it, it's there, but it's really nothing too wild. I think they did a really nice job with it. The other side's even better. Looks great. And one more shot of the other arm, just checking out the veins, the anatomy, the skin color, the paint, everything on it's just perfect. Absolutely love this thing. Here's the chest anatomy, just absolutely cut, crushed it. Looks just like the game. Love it. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into Akuma. This is the Shin version, so he's got some different colored hair. The base is texture crazy. I love this sculpture of this Oni or whatever right here in the front. Really cool detail. Just, yeah, texture overload, perfect paint. For this being a mass-produced piece, the paint on this is absolutely insane. Here's some mixed media going on the foot, a little different than Ryu. You got some real rope twine happening and a sculpted pad on the bottom of the shoe. That hyper stylized, big ass wide feet. And yeah, the tone of the toenails, everything like that. It's just really nice. Here is the braided belt and the mixed media clothing. Absolutely amazing. Here's the sculpted glove. Now, unlike Ryu's, as I mentioned before, this isn't mixed media. This is sculpted right into his hand, kind of how Ryu's glove that touches his hand is sculpted into the hand. Here's the mixed media necklace, real wooden beads with frayed rope twine necklace. Here is a shot of the back print. It's the tattoo on his back. You can see a little of it creeping there in the corner. And one more shot of the muscles, how the mixed media bends and folds in the crease of the knee. It's just excellent. Did such a good job. Here's the back of the necklace. Again, just really nice touches with the mixed media rope. Here's some anatomy of Akuma. His veins aren't nearly as blue as Ryu's, but still very much there. I like that they did change it up so they didn't totally match. They got the same anatomy vibe, but the paint is a little different, and Akuma tends to be a little more pale, I guess. The teeth on this thing stand out the most. Just so realistic. They almost look like a translucent kind of resin, just hyper glossy, and then the red details around the glowing eye. Absolutely out of control. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like with the lights off. The lights in the eyes are actually pretty intense and really bright. I was quite surprised with how bright they ended up being. Little mixed media on the tie of the ponytail, and then that's where the switch is for the eyes. You kind of pop the ponytail off with a magnet. Here's some more details of the fingernails, anatomy of the hand, really on point. Now here I'm going to show you, I pulled the shirt aside so you can see the tattoo on his back. The shirt seemed pretty impossible to get off. I know you can take it off, but it was really difficult, so I figured to just go ahead and leave it how it was. And these are the pieces in my collection. This is them sitting where they live and just looking as badass as possible. Thanks for joining me on this verse video. This was a lot of fun, and I plan on doing more of these in the future. So shoot me a comment. Let me know what you think about the verse videos and if we should keep this up with other franchises that it appeals to and it works with. All right, guys, thanks for viewing this. We'll catch you next time.